You're gonna run with this one, okay, buddy?
Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're discussing some activities in the state of Oklahoma during the month of September. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
So I went to Red Barn Market again.
Addicted?
For as often as it's okay, we've gone once or twice in the last month.
Yeah, so they have 12-step programs. We can talk about those. Like,
there are 12 steps. There's 4 steps into this building. There's another 4 steps into the other building. But we spent a little bit of money, not a ton. We didn't go crazy. I didn't pick up there was a $50 Sesame Street. You remember the big books with the big bird case thing? This close to pulling the trigger on those for the kids.
Sure.
For the kids. Always for the kids. But we did some fur trading as well, and met up with our friends over at the Cedar Bear. I know it's not a bear, but it is what it is. By it, I mean Pennywise. I wasn't expecting to get it, honestly. But I went over, they forgot that I was going to be there, so they forgot the bear. I was like, well, we'll settle up at another time. And then I saw the it, and I was like, hey, I like it. And walked away, and they were like, well, we've got one that's got a corner busted off. We can even it off and give it to you. I didn't just go in for the freebies.
Wow.
I bought one of their ghosts, too. I don't know if you got to see it. Cute little ghost with the little RIP. But Red Barn Market's a lot of fun for people like me. It really is. I could go crazy with some of that vintage stuff.
I have to catch myself because I like doing projects.
Yeah.
And so I'll see something, and the next thing you know, I've spent $300 to build something I could have bought for $23.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe not do that.
And see, you can find yourself in places like that going, if because they'll have they got some outdoor merchants too, so it's kind of set up like a little bit of like a garage sale in some senses, but you'll see them selling scrap wood and stuff like that. I was looking at some of that stuff going, Harley'd find a reason to build his own toolbox with that with that pile of wood there. But that's what I did. It's fun. It gets hot, man. You can feel the season changing a little bit. But, boy, it's still right there at the peak of the day. It just sizzles, man. The sun is still a little too warm for me.
I'm going to have to say that you're being a baby. Like, this weather is beautiful.
It's a little much for me still, man.
Tops out at 92?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I know.
The 110-degree weather we've had in the recent past?
But I'm going to pull the Okie weather card. Man, it's the humidity.
Oh, God.
It's that humidity. It'll get you. It does. It'll zap you. But what I'm hoping is some of these events that we have, as you kind of go down the calendar as it gets further into the month of September.
Well, I've got one right up.
Yeah.
We can start right off the bat.
Okay.
The first one on the list doesn't start until 6 p.m.
Oh, that's the sweet spot.
You're already through the
That's
hot
the golden
part
hour
of the day.
right there, yeah.
If you like red dirt music, you are going to love Rock the Root.
If you've been to Yukon in the last, even the last 24 months, they've grown so much. But we all know Route 66 is a hub of entertainment. We all know Yukon's the home of Garth Brooks. There's a lot of good music that has come out of Canadian County.
Yeah, absolutely. Rock the Root, though, is on September 1st, 6 p.m. to 10 or 11 p.m. It's 4th and Main in Yukon. It is Yukon's free annual concert. And looks to be a great time.
Oh, yeah.
They have plenty of live entertainment. They have food trucks, face painting, children's activities. Some of the bands that are going to be there, Muscadine Bloodline. These people have made the pages of Taste of Country, Rolling Stone, People, Billboard. Huge.
Yeah, heavy hitter. So is Jack Ingram. He's another one that's been around for a very long time.
Yeah, so it should be a great time. Music nonstop. But if you're interested, check out the website, UconOK.gov.
Well, the next one on your list, you're headed to kind of my neck of the woods a little bit, Pottawatomie County Fair.
Yeah, this is going to be September 7th through the 10th at the Heart of Oklahoma Expo Center in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
So what might I just call it Pot County. If you're from around here, there, or anywhere close, you call it Pot County, okay? I saw the way you looked at me, but the locals call it Pot County.
You know, I lived in Pottawatomie County for a little bit.
You intentionally said Watabla. You go ahead.
I think I lived in Pottawatomie County much longer than you ever came close to being in Pottawatomie County.
I don't think so. 1980s. What year?
85, 86,
I was there.
87, 88.
I was there. I was at the clinic.
89. You were at the clinic.
I went to the clinic. Yeah, absentee clinic.
I lived there.
Yeah, but I'd go there all the time.
But that's I never left.
Well, I know, but that's where I went to the doctor. That's where I went to survive.
You go to the doctor 4 times a year.
Less than that when you're a kid.
Right.
Or more than that when you're a kid.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Then I went there for therapy once a month. Anyways, Pot County Fair. Let's talk about it. Don't argue with me about it. So, you're being a hipster about Pottawatomie County.
You act like you lived there or something. You never lived there.
I've spent a great many years.
Oh my God! You spent
Pottawatomie
10 hours a month there. I spent 10 hours before noon there.
Anyways,
every day.
Pottawatomie County Fair. Tell me about it since you're from there.
They've got arts and crafts, fair food, midway games, evening carnival rides, livestock shows. They have exhibitions for poultry, goats, cattle, rabbits,
everything.
Sheep,
bear.
They have a children's petting zoo. Some of the things that I think are kind of a little bit outside of the normal fair activities.
Fair, if you will.
The fair. Old-fashioned games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure what is implied with old-fashioned games, but I am intrigued.
Horseshoes. I bet if horseshoes isn't in there, I can't be a part of it.
I don't know.
Okay.
But they have a garden. I love this one. They have a garden tractor pull.
Oh, cool.
So it's lawnmowers. It's a riding lawnmower tractor pull, which I think is brilliant.
Well, you kind of glossed over. Let's talk farmhand Olympics.
I was holding that one. That was in my back pocket.
Okay, I got you.
I do not know. I've tried my damnedest to find out what farmhand Olympics is.
I got to show up just to see what the hell we're talking about.
I'm all in. I don't if it fits the words applied to it in any way, form, or fashion. I'm 100% all in.
Oh, absolutely.
On the farmhand Olympics. But they've also got local music performed by local musicians. They're going to have a horse show, an antique tractor display, barrel racing, team roping. They have a couple of contests that I thought were super cool. A big bass contest where you can
get your big bass on display
at the fetch and fish tank, which I think is awesome. And then they're having a cornhole contest.
Cornhole has become like if you're not having a festival that includes a festival or a fair that includes cornhole,
you're not doing it right.
I don't think you're doing it right because how many? We've been doing these monthly calendars for at least 12 months, probably longer, but. Hey, the biggies always have the cornhole.
They do. But I am going to say, Pottawatomie County Free Fair has the absolute best website in existence for a fair. www.freefair.org.
It doesn't get any better than that. How do you buy that?
How do you snag that one? I don't know.
Is GoDaddy still around? I don't know. If it is, you're not getting freefair.org.
Absolutely not.
And if you want more information, check out freefair.org.
All right, so coming up next, Pig Fest, September 9th through 11th.
And it's just what it sounds like.
It is absolutely not what it sounds like.
Why?
It's in Wellston, Oklahoma. This is a 3-day outdoor music festival,
camping festival.
I don't even know how to
disc golf festival.
You can't really label it.
You can't put this thing in a box.
You can't. But it's a multi-day festival with prominent Oklahoma bands. There's going to be camping, which I think this is brilliant. This is almost from my perspective, like Woodstock-esque.
Yeah, it's got
and not the second Woodstock.
90, not 99.
The original Woodstock.
Like peace, love, and music, and
pigs.
Breakfast for 300,000.
I think this is a little bit more pigs, love, and music.
Right.
So
pig-centric.
Other activities: disc golfing, fishing, art installations, yoga sessions.
Wow,
that's some peace, love, and harmony stuff right there.
Seriously, man.
As far as the pigs go, there are going to be a lot of food trucks on site.
Oh, yeah.
Including, but not limited to, the Texlahoma Barbecue, Oklahoma Taco Company, Mr. Ping's food truck, and Newman's Firehouse Barbecue. So I think you'll probably be able to find a little bit of pig there.
Now, not to call anybody out, but when I heard Pig Fest, Wellston, Oklahoma, I thought immediately, Butcher Barbecue's having a little something. They're suspiciously not off on the list. I don't think they have a food truck though.
Yeah,
but,
I didn't see them on the list of vendors that were going to be there.
Boy, howdy!
But I think you may be right. They may not have a food truck.
They don't need one.
They don't need one.
Don't. I need a truck to carry me home when I'm done.
Yeah, I think anybody with a vehicle that has cargo space is a food truck.
The sandwiches weigh 5 pounds. Anyway. If you're looking for more information on PigFest, go to pigfestok.com.
All right, and after the break, we're rounding out the month of September. Stick around. So there have been times in the past where you and I have needed T-shirts.
Needed them. Like literally, I need a shirt because I'm cold. I have no clothing.
In the past, we have not had the best of luck getting our orders fulfilled.
Right.
It is a real issue. It's one of those things where if you're at the wrong time of year,
oh yeah,
soccer season just started up and now there are 7 million kids in soccer who all need T-shirts and parents with booster shirts.
Oh,
and you go in and to make your order and they're like, "Oh yeah." And then in between the time that they hit total on the register and the date that you they also got
hit again
with 50,000 orders from schools. And guess what? Your order for 25 T-shirts has now found its way to the bottom of the list of importance. And guess when you get your shirts? The end of soccer season.
The end of soccer season.
But you don't have to deal with things like that. If you want to skip the line, though, reach out to our friend Ronnie Davenport. He's a firefighter and a screen printer.
Uh-huh.
And he can screen print your logo onto just about anything.
That's right. If you don't want your order piled underneath a bunch of third grade little soccer psychos, give Ronnie a call at 405-517-2174
or check him out on the web at tailboardapparel.com. So next up, September 16th through the 18th in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Scott Fest.
I like how you said it. Scott Fest on WKPP-FM. Like you said, like a radio guy.
It's Oklahoma's flagship celebration of Celtic history and heritage.
Scott Fest. DJ Harley's on the ones and twos. It's Scott Fest. Sorry, it's what it sounded like. That's right. Broken Arrow. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. Again, this is a big deal in Broken Arrow.
Very big.
It's held at Broken Arrow's Chisholm Trail Park. It is a weekend-long festival.
Lot of Scottish arts and crafts would be had.
Okay, so I'm going to have to say, I'm probably, the members of Scott Fest are probably not going to like what comes out of my mouth next.
What? The Pentabre?
No.
What?
I'm disinclined to try the Scott Fest food. I have never heard any positive.
Really? Why?
I've never heard anything positive about Scottish cuisine.
But when in Scots Fest, do as the Scots do. You gotta try it. Just at least try it. Are you that much of a finicky eater?
No, I'm not a finicky eater at all, but haggis sounds disgusting. And I think that may be one of the very few Scottish foods that I'm familiar with. But I'm just thinking any civilization that creates haggis probably doesn't have a whole lot of things that I'm going to find super appealing.
But George Wallace
menu.
probably ate haggis. And
Right.
he could shoot lightning from his arse, remember?
I'm 100% all in on George
Haggis.
George Haggis. On George Wallace. I'm 100% all in on George Wallace fueling himself with haggis as long as I don't have to join in. No?
Nah, I don't know about that.
All right, well, they're going to be doing a lot of genealogy and family history stuff there. They've got Scottish crafts and products, demonstrations of Scottish traditional domestic skills, and
Yes.
then a lot of continuing education sessions and workshops are held throughout the festival.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in Scottish history, I think there's going to be a ton there.
Ton of history. What I am noticing, this is one of the first festivals that doesn't have cornhole, which leads me to believe that cornhole was not originated. It's not a Highlander sport
It's
by any means.
Probably not. I think they
Wait,
were busy.
ring fling. They do have a Scottish ring fling, though.
I think they were busy inventing golf and left cornhole up to the Nebraskans or whoever invented it.
Yeah, cornhole that's for beer drinkers. This is for Scots whiskey drinkers here.
So as far as other activities happening at the event, you've got Scottish and Irish dance demonstrations, bagpipers, traditional drumming, which I don't know if you've ever seen the Scottish traditional drumming.
They take it seriously.
This
is a man's game.
I think it's awesome. But you had mentioned the games. The Scottish Highland Games will be featuring over 160 athletes competing in traditional Scottish physical feats.
Yeah, this sounds like I almost feel like if you're not Scottish, you have to have like a PhD in something. I just don't feel like, I almost feel like I'd mentioned to you kind of off the air that there's a big push for me to wear a kilt. I don't think I'd want to do it. I feel like I just get imposter syndrome.
I would feel like a poser at this event, even though I do have some Scottish history or some Scottish heritage.
Really?
Yes.
You've got some Scottish heritage?
Scottish heritage, yes.
You said Scottish.
Even though I do have some Scottish heritage.
Do you put whiskey in your cottage cheese? Is it Scottish cheese?
Okay. So even though I do have some Scottish heritage, I will not be wearing a kilt at this event. It's not my thing. I would feel like a poser.
And furthermore, traditionally, in order to wear a kilt properly, it's commando. Am I mistaken?
I honestly don't know. I don't know the history of the kilt or underwear, to be completely honest.
I know a guy he's wizened in the ways of Scots festivals and Scottish heritage. I'm going to ask him if you got to go.
I will say, looking at the photos from last year's event with the Highland Games, there are a lot of dudes that look like me, bald and a beard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the uniform, I think.
Yeah, that's the uniform, pre-uniform, the actual, before you even have the kilt on.
Right.
Like, if you're doing the character design for Scots Fest, okay, where's the beard? Okay, beard, bald,
kilt. Yeah, so I think I'm like 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could do any of the things that they do.
Like I said, I think when you wear a kilt, you got to go full on hammer throw.
I'm not even talking about the kilt. I'm talking about the
any
activities.
of those stuff.
Like, I looked at all of the activities, and I'm pretty sure I'd throw my back out just drinking whiskey.
But if you need more information on what kilt to wear or what kind of whiskey you need to be drinking, check out OKScottFest.com.
All right, so next up, Standing Bear Powwow in Ponca City, Oklahoma, September 23rd through the 24th.
Well, Standing Bear, it's being held at the park. It's named after him, but the cultural importance of Standing Bear is where it really, really hits for me. He was a Ponca chief who successfully argued against the U.S. District Court back in the late 1870s for Native Americans to be persons within the meaning of the law, meaning equal to the white man. They deserve their day in court just like everyone else. And he was successful in that, was also granted civil rights under American law. So what he did was of a major significance to the Native American culture, and they celebrate this every year with a free event that's hosted by six north central tribes of Oklahoma, the Kaw, Osage, Oto, Missouri, Pawnee, Ponca, and Tonkawa tribes. They gather to celebrate that heritage every year.
Right. And there was a really awesome quote from Standing Bear in reference to that court case.
Sure.
He said, "My hand is not the color of yours, but if I pierce my hand, I shall feel pain, and if you pierce yours, you shall feel pain, and the blood that flows from mine will be the same color as yours. I am a man, the same God made us both."
That's killer.
Dude, I'm all in with that level of equality,
Oh, absolutely.
and I'm super pumped for the event. First and foremost, this is a free event.
Yeah, it is a free event.
They gather here to celebrate their tribal heritage, and it is considered one of the most significant American Indian events in the United States.
Now, if you've ever been to a powwow or any type of a tribal festival, all of them have a grand entry, and this is considered to be one of the biggest or the best grand entries in North America.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking native dancers in full regalia.
Full regalia, absolutely.
You're going to have intertribal dancing, exhibition dancing, contest dancing, the crowning of the Standing Bear Princess.
Yeah.
And then they've got all of the traditional Native American activities or Native American powwow activities. They'll also have arts and craft vendors with a lot of unique Native American crafts that I think if you live in Oklahoma, you have a certain appreciation for that most people outside of Oklahoma don't really understand.
Right. If I'm going to buy, I typically buy only, if I want something authentic, I'll buy it at a powwow or at some type of a cultural. So you see a lot of it at like truck stops, and that's not the real thing.
No, absolutely not.
It's a misrepresentation of the actual beauty of the craft.
They also have a lot of food vendors with a lot of traditional Native American fare. The powwow arena sits adjacent to the 63-acre Standing Bear Park and Museum located just south of Ponca City, and the parking and camping spaces are free.
Yes, there is a lot of camping because, like the week of powwows, a lot of times people will come into town. And some powwow arenas have adjacent like RV hookups, or you can come in primitive camp. This is one of those situations where you can pitch a tent.
Yeah.
Spend the weekend. But if you're looking for more information on the Standing Bear Powwow, go to standingbearpark.com.
Coming up next, Great Stomp Festival it's September 25th at the Canadian River Winery in Lexington, Oklahoma.
The Canadian River Winery are one of the OGs in the Oklahoma wine industry.
They've been doing it for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And they make all of their wine from Oklahoma-grown grapes.
Yep.
And this place is a perfect location for like weddings or parties or that sort of thing. But this event, this really kind of harkens back to like the wine festivals in France or Italy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They've got live music. They have market vendors, wine tastings. You might even be able to squish a few grapes while you're there.
Get a wine slushie for adults only.
Yeah, if you're over the age of 21, you can get a wine slushie. But I think more importantly, it's getting to the wonderful part of the year.
You're trying not. You almost said it. You almost said the thing.
This time of the year. It's getting to. September 25th is really getting to the point in the year where just being outside in a beautiful Oklahoma setting, such as this vineyard, is super relaxing. And
can you imagine being in the vineyard in the golden hour where the sun's just starting to set just a little bit, and you see the grapes glisten on the vine?
Yeah, dude, I'm thinking that's like movie intro level of relaxation or just envelopment. Yeah, I think it would be a great event, a great day. But if you want more information, check them out at CanadianRiverWinery.net.
And if you go to any of these events, if you stay at any of these hotels that we talk about while you're in town, be sure to tell them that you heard about it on the Only in OK Show.
Absolutely. And this has been the Only in OK Show. I am Harley.
And I'm Brett.
And we're out of here.
Peace. You're going to run with this one. Okay, buddy. That's right, Harley. Oh, shit. I never laugh when I lie. I never do it.
Okay, so here's what you say. Here's what you say.
Oh, fuck.
Here's what you say. You ready?
Yeah. I hate you so much. I hate it. I deserve it. I did this. All right. Do you need to leave till I'm done?
No.
Shit.
It's one sentence.
Yeah, it's a death sentence. All right. God. Okay, don't look at me, dude.
I'm full of water. All you have to do is say one.
Yeah.
Come back and say or chicken.
So, Harley, I filed my amended return. It was accepted on April the 28th.
And the IRS sent you a T-shirt that
said,
I got screwed on my taxes and all I got was this lousy T-shirt?
Right, it says, and also now hiring. You know that the IRS hired how many? Over 200 auditors?
83,000.
83,000, sorry. That's
well,
that's over 200.
That is over 200.
That is over 200. But more to the point, it's going to take 20 weeks for me to get my amended return, not 16. They're calling it a COVID delay. Are we still doing COVID delays with the IRS?
Dude, I don't understand, and I still get it occasionally myself. I don't know how many times I get that thrown at me. Well, you know, COVID.
Right.
Like, I get it if you're talking about you not being able to get supplies from China.
Yeah.
But, you know, you closing an hour and a half early on a regular
Because
business.
of COVID.
Yeah. No.
We stopped doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that anymore.
Like, I have not missed a day of work in the last 3 years.
Right. You may not go to the office, but you haven't missed work either.
Right. No missed work. So I don't understand where that is coming from. I think it's just it's become an excuse. Well, you know, COVID.
Okay. It's right up there with, but that humidity.
Right.
COVID is the new.
My COVID's flaring up.
COVID's the new. Well, it's a dry heat. That's what we use now for reasons why. I just called my order. I'm still waiting on my pizza delivery. Yeah, COVID, man.
Yeah, you know, we had a COVID flare up here at the Domino's.
It really spiked in the kitchen. But it didn't hit the register? No, it didn't. We got lucky up here. How's that even possible?
It's caused an hour and a half delay. And that's another thing. I don't know how many times I've gone into restaurants, and I'm getting this a lot, and I don't like this. You go into a restaurant, and I honestly think this is going to be the downfall of a lot of restaurants. You go into a restaurant, and you're like, yeah, there are 4 of us. And the guy looks around, looks at his tablet, he's like, yeah, we're running about an hour and a half wait right now. Like, there are 9 people in this restaurant.
There are 9 people. 9 people in the restaurant and 20 cars parked behind it. Give me a break.
Yeah. Like, why not just tell me that you don't want to work? Because I'm seeing a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, I mentioned this the other day. And it was about fast food. But, for instance, fast food in general, food in general, restaurants in general, really peaked in the 90s. Nobody wants to do anything anymore. We're taking these kids and saying, okay, here's your job, and they can barely clean their own room.
Yeah.
It's a different generation. I feel like, I'm not saying we were more mature.
No, but I think the difference is...
We came from a working class generation.
No. I think the difference is the restaurants, like the fast food restaurants. Yeah. I'm not saying restaurants in general, but the fast food restaurants. The fast food restaurants have lowered their expectations to meet the drive of the average young person.
Right.
And the ambitious young people open up their own hot dog stand in Medicine Park.
Right,
and are making 20 times as much money because they're willing to hustle.
Well, another thing, too, is restaurants that when we grew up with, when you went to McDonald's, how many choices did you have? You had Okay, I'll take the hot apple pie because that's what you had.
Oh yeah, no, I see what you mean. They added all the salads, they added all the bullshit, all the sweet stuff,
and people think that when they added, okay, for instance, they added the Beyond Burger or whatever at Burger King. You tell me right now, a crew in there, it's like, oh, man, not another menu item. Like for every menu item, the morale goes, we gotta cook. Oh man, we gotta cook 1,000 kinds of hamburgers. Come on, like there's just no.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's just a different age, man. I mean,
it is. Why are you making so much noise?
Because I'm trying to adjust this damn microphone. I'm still having trouble, but it's gonna have to work.
Big bag.
So you knew I was getting a tattoo.
I didn't know you were getting a tattoo.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Dude, we've been podcast married for a decade now.
We talked about it.
And we've talked about it for a decade now. So you getting a tattoo, no, I didn't know you were actually getting a tattoo.
I'm actually getting one. I was actually supposed to get it.
Oh, you still don't have one. Okay, so we're still a decade in and we're still talking about you getting a tattoo.
So I had an appointment booked for August the 27th.
That's 3 days from now.
Okay. Sunday night. Whatever. I can't think of what was Sunday night. What's the date Sunday night? Are we doing time? We doing timestamps for everything? Sunday night.
Okay.
About 8 something I get a call. Zach Perez, my artist from Creative Tattoos in OKC, called me at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night, which I thought was weird. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, probably call and say, hey, just making sure we're still on schedule for that weekend, or hey, when are you going to pay that last $150? So get a message, hey man, call me back at your earliest convenience. So I'm trying to change a baby. Told Tara, I said, Zach called. She's like, I'll take over, go call. So I call. He goes, hey man, what's up? I'm like, nothing, man, what's going on? He goes, I got a question. Yeah? Had something come up, man. Is there any way we can reschedule your tattoo? I said, yeah, what's going on? He goes, Sylvester Stallone wants your time slot. The following, he goes, are you okay with that? I'm like, of course I'm going to say no to John Rambo. Are you kidding me? Like, I got bumped.
Can we, for the love of God, can he, like, tell Sylvester Stallone that he bumped a local podcaster?
Right. Does he does, do you know who I am?
Can we even get a shout out on his Twitter account or something?
Anything. Anyway. So I was like, yeah. So how it happened. You know, you talked about Sylvester Stallone. They're filming in Oklahoma City.
I thought they were filming in Tulsa.
They're doing a lot of their principal stuff in Tulsa, but they've been hiring extras and stuff around town because they're doing quite a bit of filming here. So I asked him, I said, hey, man, if you don't mind me asking, how the hell is this happening? He goes, so here's how it is. Sylvester Stallone bought a dog, and he was looking for dog trainers in the area because he's going to be here for a while. And he's like, I just so happened to tattoo a couple of dog trainers. They connected with him. So Stallone basically spent 3 days, and like the guy told me, he said, look, for 3 days, he looked at my tattoo, asked me about my tattoo, and said, hey, by day 3, he's like, I love your tattoo. Where did you get it? Who is it? Take me there. So bada boom, bada bing. There's a picture of him with him on Instagram. But somebody just sent me a news article that's basically, so he got a tattoo of a dog over his current wife's face.
That's awesome.
Like you gotta really love your dog to do a cover up on a woman you've been with half a freaking century, dude. That's a long time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, that's my adventure. I think that's cool.
It is cool, but I am gonna say that inside the Oklahoma movie industry from an industry legend deserves a spot, deserves an interview.
Oh yeah.
On the number one Oklahoma travel and tourism podcast in the state.
I don't think I could do that interview, man. I don't mind interviewing, the Rose Rock King or the guy that makes, flat top steaks better than anybody. I don't know that I could. Rambo, man. Rocky. And how do you avoid I break you? I mean, how do you avoid talking about, you remember the time when you fought Mr. T?
Oh, yeah. It would just be two fanboys, like, squealing.
Tell me about Apollo Creed. You know what I mean? But no, I thought that was pretty cool.
How do you get your vessel so big?
Right? Sylvester, can I call you Sly? That'd be the shortest. It'd be the shortest interview.
Yeah.
We'd have to make a Patreon because I'm not showing my ass for free. I'm just not going to do it.
That's funny.
That's crazy. But yeah, got bumped for Sly Stallone. I was like, of course. So, Mom, she hates the idea that she was going to watch the kids because it was going to be I was going to be there all day. So he gives me keep that in mind. So he goes, how's September 25th sound? Cool. About a month away. My mom hates tattoos. Hates them. When I told her that it's the weekend of her birthday, she was thrilled, to say the least. Yeah, she would, what'd she say? She'd rather, I can't remember what it was. Basically, the equivalent of beating a baby seal is what she'd rather than me get a tattoo.
My 16-year-old son
wants a tattoo?
No, he wants a piercing.
Where?
The nose ring thing,
right in the middle?
Yeah, the septum piercing or whatever I think it's called.
How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I don't know.
You don't know how to feel about it, or you don't?
I don't know how to feel about it.
To it.
No, I'm not indifferent to it. I just don't know how to feel about it. Like, I remember being 16. I remember getting my ear pierced when I was 16 years old. And
yeah, but let's be real. Our parents didn't give a shit.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I think I got in pretty deep shit because mine happened with a safety pin and a bottle of alcohol.
Where'd you get it pierced at? Claire's?
Mine happened with a safety pin and a bottle of alcohol.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think that Claire's does safety pins and alcohol.
Sorry.
Last I checked. I've had every single one of my daughters go to Claire's for a piercing at one point in time or another, and I don't think I ever saw them break out the baby pin or the baby pins.
Right? They're like, "Hey, we got a deal going." What's the deal? Wait right here.
If you let Fred do it with an ice pick,
yeah, it's the
give you 50% off.
Yeah, it's a sit and stick special. We don't use a piercing gun. We give you a stick to put in your mouth, and then we stab you with a high ice pick. It's funny.
We got a Guatemalan kid that'll hit you with a dart gun from 100 yards. You just have to be on stage between 5 and 7 on Saturday night,
right? And hope that he doesn't use the poison arrow darts. Oh, you ready to get in here and get this thing on?
Out of a 700-year-old red oak tree forest.
I can't hear a squat, dude. Hi, yeah. I can hear it in the room. Hi, yeah. Yeah, I can't hear it in my headphones at all. Hello. There it goes. It's back. It's back for now. So you going to Medicine Park on Labor Day weekend?
I don't know.
Okay. Fair.
Why?
I don't know why. Hello. There it is. Kind of. There it is.
You touched mine. I need some more fucking cables.
All right. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we're discussing some activities in the state of Oklahoma. Why don't I just say it in abbreviations for the whole show? You know what I mean? 3, 2, 1.